Hi everyone! Continuing on LibGuides Basics, this video will give you a few pointers on how to create a table of contents box for the home page of your subject guide. For each of the options that we'll explain, the first step is always to add a box to the appropriate column. From there you have the option to create a new box or reuse a box from elsewhere. A first and easy way to create a table of contents is to use the Add a Link option. You'll create your new box, giving it an appropriate title, and once you've created the box, you'll click on the link option from the pull-down list. Name your link the same as the tab you'll be creating an entry for. Copy the appropriate URL into the link URL field, remembering that this is the link from here and not the link from the URL address bar. Change the window to the target of the open in the current window as opposed to the default, and add a description of what could be found in that particular link. So for example, I usually have this on my using the library description, and I would add that as a description information here. You can choose where the description will display, but I recommend leaving it on the default beneath the item title. If you want to get fancy, you can assign a thumbnail image to a link. To do so, click on this link and choose Browse. If you have images in your personal library, you'll just choose the image icon for that which you want to put into as a thumbnail image. If you don't assign a specific height and width, LibGuides will choose the image settings that go along with the picture, which may not be appropriate. So I recommend that you set a height or a width of 100 or 150 pixels. Try it out to see which you prefer, and then use the same settings for all of the other images that you assign. A final table of contents using the link option might look something like this. You can see that because of the way that this particular image was formatted, some of the text wrapped around underneath of the image, whereas it does not do so on the other images because of the way the images are formatted. This is an extra consideration you have to keep in mind when you're using the link option as a table of contents creation tool. Another option whenever you're creating a table of contents is to use the rich text or HTML option. So again, once you've created your box and given it an appropriate title, you'll choose the rich text HTML option from the pull-down list. You have a lot more formatting options in this option than you do with the adding a link. So for example, you could change the style of it, the paragraph format, the font. You could choose to use numbered or bulleted lists, whatever works for you. So you'll want to try it out and see which works the best. So again, whenever you're adding a link, you type in the text of the link, highlight it, click on the link button, and then paste the appropriate URL into this field, just like you do for the previous version of it. You would do this for each of the tab items, and a final table of contents using the rich text feature might look something like this. You notice how there are no images here. Finally, you can always up your game by using a table to format your rich text table of contents, which allows you to add images and control where the text will appear. This is what was done to make the model for the table of contents on the default template, which is what my first table of contents is based off of. So you'll notice that the RefWorks tab, where it wraps around down here, it does not wrap around here. Play around with any table and how you might prefer to make it, or just reuse the box from the default template and customize it how you prefer. Remember that you'll need to choose that you'll want to copy the box, and if you want to watch the video on the Best Practices tab of the default template for a refresher on how to reuse and customize table of contents boxes, please do so. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to talk to a member of the web team. Thanks for listening.